Thank you, Mr.
Gentleman from
Speaker.
Florida.
I'd like to yield 5 minutes to Dr. Weldon of Florida, a member of the Appropriations Committee.
The gentleman from Florida is recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the gentlelady for yielding. I rise to address House Con Resolution 63, disapproving of the decision of the President announced on January 10, 2007 to deploy 20,000 additional United States combat troops to Iraq. This resolution essentially has, by my interpretation, 3 sections. It has the first section, which speaks in support of our troops, and then it has the second section disapproving of the mission of 20,000 of the troops, which is a little bit of an inconsistency. We're saying we support the troops, but we don't support what you're trying to do. But the most important part of this resolution is the third section, shown here in white. There's nothing there, no plan. So the authors of this resolution are essentially saying, we don't approve of the President's plan, but we have no plan to deal with this challenge. Ladies and gentlemen, we won the war in Iraq. What we are struggling to win now is the peace, establishing a peaceful government that can run this country. And we have very determined opponents seeking to make sure that chaos reigns in that country, and we do what this resolution is leading us to do, which is essentially to leave. Indeed, a senior member on that side of the aisle recently said in the press that this is the bark and the bite is coming. We supposedly support the troops, but what is next is no funding for the troops. That this Congress, under this new leadership, is going to exercise the power of the purse and cut off the flow of money. But, ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues, this is not Vietnam. The war in Iraq is not going to go away. It's going to continue to be a problem. If we do withdraw our troops, as many in this room wants us to do, the war on terror will continue. We had a meeting today with the ambassador from Jordan and the ambassador from Egypt asking us not to withdraw, that we have to stay and persist and to try to establish a peaceful regime there. And they had their reasons, because they know this is a component of the war on terror. And the war on terror is a bad term. It's a war on radical, fundamentalist, jihadist Islam. And these jihadists are not going to stop coming at us. Indeed, since over the last 4 years, there have been attack after attack after attack in Bali, in Spain, in London, and they are going to keep coming after Western interests because their goal and their agenda is to defeat the West, to defeat everything we stand for, and to ultimately establish a global fundamentalist Islamic regime. I oppose this resolution. I am going to vote against it, and I encourage all of my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to do the same. The President's plan was recommended to us in the Iraq study group. It's amazing. Many of the people who are saying they're going to vote for this supported the Iraq study group, and the Iraq study group recommended many of the components that are in the President's plan. We need to give this time to work. I know the American people are losing patience in this conflict, but I also know the stakes in this conflict are huge. And if we fail, the consequences could be huge to the region, they'll be huge to the world, they'll be huge to the American people and our children and our grandchildren. So I strongly encourage a no vote on this resolution, and I yield back the balance of my time.